Back when I drove the regular Acura Integra, I just wasn't that impressed by it. You know, maybe they hyped it up too much, but I also didn't have a lot of nostalgia for the old one. And it was a perfectly fine car, but it didn't really raise the bar in the way that I hoped it would. And I had this theory back then that when the Type S came out, that it would address a lot of those shortcomings. So now that I finally had the chance to drive this performance-oriented model, was my theory right? Stay tuned to find out.
For more expert car reviews, don't forget to share our channel and subscribe so you can catch some of this and maybe even a little of that.
So I am happy to report that my theory was right, but I'm even happier to tell you that honestly, this Integra Type S has surpassed all of my expectations for it. Honestly, my expectations weren't that high, but I'm so happy that this car exists and that it is this much fun to drive. I really wasn't expecting that. And yes, it's a front-wheel drive compact sports sedan. And I know a lot of you might be skeptical because it's front-wheel drive, but this car has tons of grip. So it has a really great limited slip differential up front that's really effective at getting power down very efficiently and very predictably. So even though there's so much power heading to the front wheels, there's not a lot of wheel spin, there is not a lot of torque steer, and so they've done a great job managing all of that power. And then the other thing that makes it really good is the way it handles. So it does have adaptive dampers, making the handling very fun and very predictable. So in comfort mode, it's obviously still going to ride a little bit harshly, mostly because it's on big 19-inch wheels and it's riding on these very sticky Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, which are great and give the car so much grip. So from a performance standpoint, those adaptive dampers also help keep the car really flat when you're in turns. And I love this because that means that this provides very accessible performance. You just point it and go. There's really no guessing. And I like that predictability when it comes to sports cars like this, because that just makes it so much more fun. You know, you can play around a lot without being scared that it's gonna get you. Another highlight I love is the steering. So first of all, it is very heavy and very direct. I would wish for even more feedback through the steering wheel, but honestly, I say that for everything unless it's a Porsche. So I still think they did a really good job with this. And probably my favorite part of this whole thing is this 6-speed manual transmission. So first of all, the Type S comes as manual only. Like, you cannot get an automatic transmission with this car. And I love Acura for doing that because it's really for the fans. It shows you that they still care about their fans who want performance cars. And this 6-speed stick shift is just so well executed. Not only is the shifter great to use, it slides in and out of the gates like super precisely, but this clutch is also fantastic. It has a great bite point. It's very easy to drive, very forgiving. And so even if you've never driven a manual car before, you'll get used to this super easily. And even if you are a pro and you have a lot of experience, this is going to be a lot of fun for you. I also love the fact that it has automatic rev matching downshifts, which makes me feel super cool because I'm not great at heel towing. And so just to have that makes this thing so enjoyable to drive. And I honestly didn't expect it to sound this good. It's just got a little 4-cylinder in it, but it sounds so good. There's snapping and crackling and burbling, and it's just enough to not be overpowering or not embarrass you. It's just enough to like keep pushing you to have more fun with the car. And that's exactly what I like to see in cars like this. And getting back to that engine, this Type S is powered by Honda's very good and award-winning 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with VTEC. It has 320 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. And it is a perfect pairing for this sedan. It makes it feel so alive, very entertaining, and super playful. And this has become one of my favorite engines just because it is that good. I love all the work that Acura has done to make the Integra Type S look so much more aggressive and sporty than the regular Integra. Even in this black color, you know, typically I like the cars to have a little bit more fun with the color, but in this black, I think it looks so menacing and so cool. I love the more aggressive air intakes in the front bumper. I also love the fact that there is a functional hood scoop. There's nothing more annoying than when they just slap it on there for decoration and it doesn't do anything, so this is great. I love the fact that it's a lot wider than the regular Integra. Like, look at these fender flares, that's awesome. I love the big red Brembo brakes as well. You know, people have been stopping me in parking lots to tell me how sick this car looks. One guy even told me that he thought it was really sexy, which I think is hilarious because this is an Acura. So I think they did a great job with the style. I also really love this small, tidy spoiler on the back. They didn't put anything too crazy and ostentatious up there. I really like these rear diffusers, and I also love the fact that there's a triple exhaust. That just looks so cool. So now that we're back inside, I do want to talk about the interior. If you're used to the Honda Civic, this will look very familiar to you, but I do think Acura did some pretty good work making it feel more upscale. So I love this red leather. These seats are fantastic. They have the Type S embossing in the headrest. I'm not a huge fan of this piano black plastic. It gathers dust so quickly and it just looks so cheap. So I think automakers got to stop using it in general. I'm also not a huge fan of these grates in the HVAC vents. They look really cool, but they're impossible to clean. And you can already see there's some crud stuck in there from the previous person. And I can't imagine how much dirtier that's going to be as the car ages. Another thing to keep in mind is that there are only 2 seats back there, so there's no middle seat. And there's not a huge amount of room. Our video producer, Will Johnson, is back there and he's a little bit crunched and already complaining that his back is starting to hurt. So if you often carry passengers in the back, that is something else to consider. But I do like that the trunk is quite large and you can fold down the seats in the back for even more space. So in that sense, the Type S is very practical and I like it because of that. The other thing I really love is that it uses the Honda Civic's infotainment system, and it's great, it's user-friendly, and the best part about it is that it's not an Acura system with their dumb little touchpad. I hate that system, and so I'm super happy they decided to use the Civic's touchscreen instead. So the Type S pretty much only comes fully loaded, and that's awesome because it comes standard with a whole bunch of features that you expect. Stuff like wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you got a head-up display, you've also got wireless charging and all of the safety stuff. The only thing that it doesn't come with is low-speed cruise control for adaptive and also traffic jam assist, because that's basically impossible to do with a manual transmission. But it comes with pretty much everything. Pricing for the Type S starts at around $55,600. I actually think that is quite the bargain, and that actually means it's a little bit cheaper than all of its competitors, none of which actually come with a manual transmission. So if I was shopping in this segment, I would seriously consider this because it's something different. You know, it's not the obvious choice. But then the question comes up, because this is so closely related to the Honda Civic Type R, you know, which one would you get? Personally, I would pick this one because I feel like it's a lot more mature, you get a lot more features for it, and I feel like they executed it so well. I'm just really happy driving this. You know when you step into a car sometimes and it just feels special? This car feels really special. And I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into a collectible car one day. That's how good it is. To recap, I love the Acura Integra Type S's dialed-in driving dynamics, menacing but mature style, and that it's so easy to live with. I'm not a fan of the piano black plastic, but that's really about it. I am so happy that the Acura Integra Type S ended up living up to all the hype and that it surprised me by being so good. Not only is it fantastic to drive, but it's also very easy to live with day to day. And it gives me a lot of hope for Acura as a brand in general. I truly enjoyed driving it so much. And if you're looking for a fantastic daily driver that's fun and has a lot of swagger, I think you'll enjoy it a lot too.